Hi, I'm Danny Lipford.
And I'm Chelsea Lipford-Wolf.
Thanks for watching this episode of Today's Homeowner here on YouTube. And don't forget to leave us a like and a comment.
And be sure to share with a friend, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you get notified of new videos.
Thanks and enjoy the show. This week, our Today's Homeowner team is taking on a project to make home a little homier for some young people with autism.
It's better.
Yeah,
Better now.
it's a lot better. What do you think so far?
Unbelievable.
Good for you.
Community service projects are a great way to meet real needs, but they also bring together different kinds of people. This week, we're making improvements to these two homes for a group called the Learning Tree.
The Learning Tree is a nonprofit that provides educational and residential services to children and adolescents who have developmental disabilities and also autism.
Some of our kids come to us and they have a wide range of behavioral challenges. So a lot of them can't communicate efficiently.
The kids are with us 24 hours a day, and we have round-the-clock staff with them. The money that we get from the federal government covers their care. There's very little left over from that to take care of the houses and to make them attractive. We really try hard to make it fit in with the neighborhood and be as home-like as possible for these guys. And as you can see, they lack curb appeal out here. We could really use sod. This is great that it's green, but it's the wrong kind of green.
Yeah, a little mossy green over there, isn't
Yeah,
it?
the driveways are in really bad shape.
Now, what about inside projects? I'm sure you have a big list there too.
We do, and I know y'all can't stay with us for a year, so.
Narrow it down.
Right. I think what would make the biggest impact for our kids is in this house, the kitchen needs a lot of work.
Okay.
Cabinets have been painted many times and they're needing a lot of help. The countertop is scratched up in there, and there is some beautiful, probably 1970s wallpaper that needs to be taken down. And in this house, the kitchen's in a little bit better shape, but our floors are horrible in there. The walls are very dark with dark cabinets, so anything you could do to brighten it up would be wonderful.
Oh, absolutely.
With a list this big, we'll need lots of help. So we're enlisting the entire Today's Homeowner staff while Teresa recruits some community volunteers. The pros at the local Home Depot offered some great recommendations for materials, and before long, we're ready to go to work.
Thank y'all so much for coming and working with us today. This is going to be so awesome, and we're all so excited.
All right, well, we're going to have to divide up in teams a little bit here, some inside, some outside. And I haven't told anybody who's going to be on what team, because I want to make sure everybody showed up. Oh, boy, that was great.
While I get some folks started outside moving these old landscape timbers, Chelsea is laying out the plan for one of the kitchens.
All right, so what we're gonna do in this kitchen is paint the cabinets, paint the countertops, paint the walls, and change out the knobs. So if y'all could work on taking the hardware off and taking the cabinet doors off the hinges, and we'll move them out of here to work on them. With all this running back and forth between the two kitchens, it does mean that I'm not actually having to do a lot of work. All right, we're painting the walls and changing the floors out in here, but our main priority is to get big patches like this sanded down so Dad can put a coat of drywall mud on it, because we have to do that before we can paint.
I'm discovering that Allison has a unique sanding technique called jump sanding. Outside, we're rototilling the yards and adding lime to the soil to regulate its pH, so maybe we can grow grass here instead of moss. You know, on a community service project like this, where we have a lot of people working in a lot of different areas, I hate to get tied down to one project like applying this joint compound when I feel like there's got to be some questions out there. The most frequent one is, what's next? And right now that answer is pressure washing the driveway so we can repair and seal it. Inside the second kitchen, Chelsea is finding out a little more about the kids who live here.
If I had someone tearing up my kitchen, it would be an eating out night. Do they get to go to McDonald's tonight for dinner? I mean, I can see what I can do about that one. We'll have to ask around, but I'm sure we can make that happen.
I'd be pretty excited about that too. I do like their fries.
Chelsea wants to prime the cabinets at the same time as the wallpaper, but that means there's a lot of sanding to be done, and she's getting a little extra help from a few of the students in the program.
Kayla, Caitlin, and Joyce are so enthusiastic and excited about helping us work.
Ready for your sandpaper?
Thank you.
All right, let's go over to the doors. And here's a piece for Joyce, a piece for me. All right, let's go over here to the cabinet doors.
They love to work and they love to be around people, so they are in their element right now.
I just handed them the sandpaper and they just got to it.
Go like this, just on the face of it, like that.
Prep work is essential to any paint job, but it's especially important when you're painting kitchen cabinets. Because you have that buildup of grease and grime, you want to make sure you knock that down before you paint over it to ensure that your paint is going to last a long time.
Meanwhile, in the other kitchen,
Obviously, you're cutting in, and obviously, you're going to roll. So, all right, one thing that you need to remember is don't get too far ahead of her, because anything that you paint, it needs to stay wet while she rolls. Or you may have some overlap. And then you go all the way around, and then you do it again, and then you have two coats on. Okay, I'm out of here.
I had several pictures framed recently, and I wanted to hang them using braided wire because it's so much stronger than single wire. But I went to buy some, and I was surprised how expensive braided picture hanging wire was. So I thought I could make it myself using everyday common galvanized wire. So I started by taking a length of wire and cutting it 2 times longer than the distance between these D hooks. And then I simply folded it in half and took a 4D finishing nail. With a pair of pliers, I bent a hook into the nail. Then I chucked the nail into a drill. Now I'm just going to take the wire and hook it right onto the nail. And on the other end, I'm going to just grab the wires with a pair of pliers. I'm going to braid it myself using the power of the drill. You'd be surprised how effective and fast this is. So there you go. So the wire's hooked on, you just squeeze the trigger. There you go. Look at that. In just a few seconds, get a nice, strong, braided wire. And now all you need to do to tie it off is just put it through the D hook on each end, twist it around, and it's nice and secure.
this week we've drafted some of the Today's Homeowner staff to help with a community project to improve 2 houses that serve as group homes for adolescents with autism. While painting and priming takes place in both of the kitchens, we're also repairing the asphalt driveway and doing some landscaping outside, with a little help from some of the students in the Learning Trees Day School.
Just hold it out like this. Okay, now let's just pull it like that. There you go. Come on down a little bit. Now back, go that way a little more, like that. See what I'm talking about, how it kind of smooths it out? Let's do that some more. There you go. There you go. Good job. Good job. Keep it going there. You ready? Let me
Ready?
show you.
Yes.
All right, let me show you.
All right,
See, just take this, just kind of pull it like that, okay? Yeah, like that. There you go. Do a little more over there. Yeah, you're doing good, man. You're doing good. There you go. Uh-oh, you got a root. Got a root. There you go. Now it ought to be good. There you go. Good, 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 good.
It's better.
Yeah,
Better, Leo.
it's a lot better, a lot better. After meeting these kids, it's all worthwhile.
One of these boys, John Michael, really loves to work and wants to try every job. So I'm recruiting him to help me fill in some cracks in the driveway before we seal it.
So what we're gonna do is take this screwdriver and kind of go like that. Then we'll take this little bitty thing, do like that. See? Okay, now we'll fill it up with this. So you see how we're doing that? Then we'll take this. That way water won't get down in there anymore, okay? All right, so why don't I do this and you do that, okay?
Some of these kids are just really getting into this very simple task they're doing. They're raking or they're watering plants, and they enjoy it.
At the beginning of the second day, the second coat of wall paint is going on in both kitchens at the same time.
Did you think we were going to paint a fence today, Joel?
What? Sorry?
You brought your Tom Sawyer look. Did you think we were going to be painting a fence today?
You know, I've always considered myself more of a Huckleberry Finn.
Ah, okay.
Josh, I heard that you're pretty good at this, okay? All right, so let's start right here, and you see where that one is. Okay, if you'll start, there you go. Just dig that down right there. Oh, there you go. There you go. Well, it was great having Josh come out to the project because not only did he help us a lot, he also helped a lot of his fellow students. Just a little bit more, Josh, and you're good.
He's taken over the role in the school of big brother to some of our students, and it gives him a purpose, and he's using his abilities in a very positive way.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good job. Boy, this is so great. The kids are really involved creating this nice little garden. It's going to feel a lot more like home. Okay, Gracie, you get right in there and just push that dirt in there.
Push it down.
By the time the planting is done, we're ready to start sealing the driveway.
Okay, we're squeegeeing. So, what you want to do is put about 1/8 of an inch of this. You see there, I'm done right there. That's beautiful. So we're going to go like this. We do not want it on the concrete. You got to play with it. It doesn't like to be pushed. Always pull it back to you.
The whole concrete kind of scares me though. What happens if you get it on there?
You have to re-pour it.
All of it?
You have to re-pour the whole concrete.
So don't do that, Allison.
No pressure.
Okay, what's going on here with the shoes?
Apparently, the tape was intended to protect their shoes from the sealer.
This is a handy home improvement. It's a simple solution.
Wow.
I know.
Wow.
When you're working on those renovation or remodeling projects, wouldn't it be nice to have an extra set of eyes that could look down inside that wall and tell you where the wires and all the ductwork is? Or maybe if you have a clogged pipe, you could stick a little eye down in there to kind of see what's going on in there. Well, now you can. Ryobi has come out with the PhoneWorks Inspection Scope. Now, at the end of this long 3-foot cable here, you have a camera, and it also is illuminated with an LED light. You can stick this down inside of a wall, or you can stick it inside of a pipe and you can see what's going on in there. Now, it's also submersible, so if you have to root around in water, it's okay. But if you look, you say, hey, where's the display? And you'd be right, there isn't one here. So what you do is you pop on your smartphone, you connect to the Wi-Fi after you've downloaded the app, and now your phone has become the display screen. So not only can you see it here, but you can also record it. So now you have an extra set of eyes before you start those big projects.
We're working on a community service project with the staff of Today's Homeowner to improve a pair of group homes for teenagers with autism. We're renovating the kitchens and sprucing up the outside.
I noticed this shoe molding is not even on top of this.
Oh, nice. Oh,
Look at that.
Okay.
Oh my God.
And then that's just hardwood there. So if we can do that, it'll be better for us to put that new floor on top of this than that.
So we're just taking out this top
So just take this and then just throw it out in the front yard.
Once the old flooring comes up, we can work on the shoe molding.
Yeah, just a little bit of smooching there, a little bit. There you go. Smooch the trim.
Smooch the trim.
Yep. It's kind of nice to make a mundane project a little more romantic.
Smooch it. He kept saying smooch it to me. I felt like that was a little weird.
You just have to treat it with respect.
There you go.
Meanwhile, Chelsea and her crew are busy with the cabinets in the other kitchen.
Whoa, I was gonna see if you need somebody else in here, but I don't think we can get anybody else in here at all.
But
Hey, I love this though. I mean, and I really was a bit skeptical about different colors,
always.
but it seemed like it's
I
working out
know,
pretty
we're
well.
putting together the lower cabinets, and then we got shelf liner going on, so it's gonna be like a whole new kitchen in here, except for, you know, one more thing.
Yeah, I tell you what, the one thing that needs more attention than anything at this point, painting those countertops.
Painting these countertops really isn't any different than any other paint job. We sand it, and then we wipe it down and clean it with some soap and water, let it dry before we apply 2 coats of our paint. We want to use the roller as much as we can.
Okay.
And because we're using foam rollers, you can see, like, you can get pretty tight up in a crease.
Okay. So try to get those brush marks out
Right.
as much as possible.
Right, but yeah, so you want to do the brush first, and then this, and then you're just rolling it on, and you want to do it lightly.
And then once we get a first coat on, do we need to let it dry and do a second coat?
Yes, so actually, unlike regular paint, we have to do the second coat within 60 minutes of the first coat, or we have to wait 24 hours.
Oh, okay.
So if all 3 of us are working, I think we can do it.
Yep.
So let's get to it. There you go.
While Chelsea's team is busy coating the counters, my crew is in the other kitchen putting down a padded underlayment for the new laminate floor. When that's complete, we're ready for flooring.
One here, One there. We're not going to push hard against it. We just want to leave that in there.
And what are the spacers for, Danny?
Just expansion and contraction.
Okay.
Yeah, we got to. And then as we put these things in, you'll have a tendency to push against the wall. This will keep them out. So we're ready for another one, Sharon. Okay, there. Okay, Amy. Hook it in. Hook it in the end.
Hook it in the end.
In the end. No.
The other end, Amy.
I thought we were
Lift it
going.
up.
Okay,
Lift it up.
I got you.
Lift it up.
Okay, now set it down. Okay, there. Now it's tight. You just want to make sure you really get it tight right there, Amy, and keep pushing this way as you lower it down. See how I'm doing this right here? Bump it in there like boom. We're ready to go.
Some of us haven't been doing this our whole lives, Danny.
That's right.
Experience is helpful, but it doesn't take long to get the hang of locking these pieces together. And after that, it's pretty easy. That's why laminate is among the most popular choices for do-it-yourselfers. Just remember to stagger the inseams and keep the joints tight in both directions. When the whole space is covered, we're reinstalling the shoe molding to hold the edges down and the flooring in place.
All right, let's get this light fixture up here. If you want to open that up, I'll get this set up because I'm going to need you in just a minute. Hey, we're about to do something that a lot of people are wanting to do around their house, and that's change out conventional lighting for LEDs. A lot of advantages because you save a little money on the electric bill. You don't have to replace bulbs as often as you have to with these fluorescent tubes. And in this particular case, the lighting that the LED gives off is a lot better for the kids.
The fluorescent lighting that we have isn't necessarily the best for kids that are on the spectrum. And a lot of our kids also have seizure disorders, so the flickering lights can cause seizures.
Fluorescent fixtures sometimes also buzz or hum when the ballast needs to be replaced. This new LED fixture has none of those problems, and the footprint matches the old one, so no ceiling repairs are needed.
Where do the bulbs plug in?
These are the bulbs.
These little strips?
All these little strips are LED strips. So that's why you don't have to replace the bulbs.
Ever?
No.
Nice.
Plus, LEDs use about 50% less power and put out more light. With the fixtures changed, our inside work is complete. While we continue waiting on the sod delivery, we decide to replace the aging mailboxes, and just as we get the post ready for paint, the sod finally arrives.
Werner Turf very generously donated sod to us, and unfortunately the weather didn't cooperate, and getting the sod here has been a challenge.
Everybody's relieved that the sod is finally here, but there's a lot of work ahead. Go here, right down the line, and then we'll fill in the blanks back and forth. Drop and go. There you go. Look at us with production. You know, one of the things I learned a long time ago about putting down sod is, first of all, have a lot of people. We got a lot of great volunteers right now. Also, don't lean over and try to position the pieces of sod. Use a garden rake, it makes it a lot easier. And, oh yeah, there's one other thing they always say, green side up.
These two houses have undergone quite a few changes this week. Inside, the feel of the kitchens has gone from worn, weary, and dated to bright, airy, and clean. The tired, dirty exteriors had very little curb appeal, but a little elbow grease has made them cleaner, brighter, and more manicured, with landscapes that students can enjoy and that neighbors can appreciate.
When they laid the grass down, I had no idea what an impact it would make. I mean, just seeing that moss gone, it's incredible. I love it. I love the color in the kitchen. The floors make such a difference, and I had no idea changing the walls and the curtains would brighten it up the way it has. It's beautiful. This type project is very encouraging to our staff. They have very difficult jobs with some of our kids. And so to see the community come together to make their lives easier and make the places they work better, and to care about their kids, because they care about these kids.
Well, this was a very special Today's Homeowner episode. It was great having the kids work side by side with us, and I think they enjoyed the process, and I hope they'll enjoy all the improvements we were able to make. Now, I'll tell you this, we got a lot more out of it than they did, because being able to put together a group of volunteers, donated materials, and then work a few days to end up with these results really makes us feel very, very good. And I hope you feel good as well. And I hope you enjoyed seeing this show and seeing all of these projects come together in just a few short days. I'm Danny Lipford. We'll see you next week, right here on Today's Homeowner. Hey, thanks for watching this episode of Today's Homeowner. And don't forget to comment, like, and hit the bell icon so that we can notify you when new videos are posted.
And don't go anywhere, click around and continue the home improving fun.